Joffrey Baratheon. Joffrey Baratheon was on a whole other level of awful. He was the king of Westeros, which basically meant he could do whatever he wanted to whoever he wanted with
zero consequences.
And boy, did he use that power terribly. He had Ned Stark executed in front of his own daughters, Sansa and Arya, while they watched and couldn't do anything. He kept Sansa as his personal punching bag for seasons, humiliating her in front of the entire court. He had his own guards beat her publicly. He ordered Roz killed
to test out his new crossbow.
He even made a musician choose between his fingers or his tongue, just because he could. Every episode you're sitting there thinking, someone please stop this child, and nobody does. His own mother Cersei can't control him. Even his grandfather Tywin, the most powerful man in Westeros, couldn't fully rein him in. So when his wedding day comes, the Purple Wedding, surrounded by all of Westeros' most powerful families, and he starts choking. He died with the exact same look on his face, the same look he made everyone else wear the whole time. Karma's got great timing. Micah Bell. Micah Bell was the kind of person that made you hate fictional characters for real. And that is saying something. He was a member of the Van der Linde gang, which sounds cool, until you realize he was the worst part of it. Loud, selfish, cruel. The guy who walked into every room.
And made it worse just by being there.
But here's the worst part. While Arthur Morgan, a man who was literally dying of tuberculosis, was out there trying to hold everything together, Micah was selling them all out to the Pinkertons. He betrayed the gang, he got people killed, and he walked away thinking he won, until Dutch finally realized who the real rat was. And it was Dutch's bullet that ended it. After everything Micah put you through across 2 games, watching him drop in the snow on top of that mountain was one of the cleanest moments in gaming history. Gus Fring. Gus Fring from Breaking Bad was not your typical villain. He never raised his voice, never lost his temper, never showed you what he really was. And that was exactly what made him so terrifying. Gus was just a friendly fast food manager, running his chain of chicken restaurants called Los Pollos Hermanos, smiling at customers, shaking hands, looking like the most harmless man in the world. But underneath all of that, he was one of the biggest drug lords in the American Southwest. And he ran his operation the same way he ran his restaurants. Clean, precise, zero mistakes. He was always 10 steps ahead of everyone. He manipulated Walter White, one of the smartest and most dangerous men in the show. But even Gus had one weakness: revenge. His obsession with destroying Hector Salamanca, the man who murdered his partner decades ago, was the one thing Walter used against him. And when that bell rang,
half of Gus's face was gone.
The most cinematic exit in television history, equal parts horrifying and oddly satisfying. Voldemort. Voldemort from Harry Potter was the most feared dark wizard of all time, and the wizarding world made sure you knew it. Nobody could say his name. Grown adults, experienced wizards. He was so terrifying that entire generations refused to
speak his name out loud.
That kind of fear, yeah, you have to earn. And Voldemort earned it. He killed hundreds of people. He started 2 wars. He built an army of followers who would die for him without question. He even split his own soul into 7 pieces, just so death itself couldn't touch him. But here is the problem with Voldemort. Underneath all that power, underneath all that fear, was someone who never once understood love. And in Harry Potter, that is the one thing that gets you killed. So when Harry finally faced him for the last time, no army. No followers, no soul pieces left. Just a man who spent his entire life running from death. His own killing curse bounced back and hit him instead. He dropped to the ground, and just like that, he was gone. For good this time, the most feared wizard of all time, taken out by his own spell. The Governor. The Governor from The Walking Dead was the kind of villain that
made zombies look easy to deal with.
Seriously, in a world full of flesh-eating monsters, this guy was the real threat. He ran the town of Woodbury like his own personal kingdom. Charming on the outside, friendly smile, always said the right thing. The kind of guy you'd trust immediately, which is exactly the problem, because behind that smile, he kept a room full of fish tanks filled with the severed heads of his enemies.
Just for fun.
He forced people to fight zombies in an arena, like some twisted gladiator show. He shot his own men in the back when they stopped being useful. And he did all of this while still managing to look like the most reasonable guy in the room. That is genuinely impressive.
In the worst way possible.
He went to war with Rick's group not once,
but twice.
Killed people who trusted him, betrayed his own soldiers, and every time you thought he was finally done,
he showed up again.
Like a discount horror movie villain who refuses to stay buried. But the second time around, Michonne had enough. She caught up to him during the final fight and ended it herself. After everything he put people through, watching the Governor finally go down felt like the show finally taking out the trash. Palpatine. Palpatine from Star Wars spent decades manipulating an entire galaxy without anyone even noticing. That's not a villain, that's a chess master. He started off as a senator. A senator. The most boring sounding job in the galaxy. And he used that position to slowly take over everything. He started a war on purpose, played both sides against each other, turned the Republic into the Empire right in front of everyone's eyes, and somehow nobody saw it coming. He didn't need an army to be terrifying. He needed patience, and he had decades of it. He turned Anakin Skywalker, one of the most powerful Jedi who ever lived, into Darth Vader. He wiped out almost every Jedi in the galaxy in a single night. He ruled as Emperor for years, crushing entire planets just to keep his grip on power. And even after his first death, he found a way to come back. The man simply refuses to stay dead. But in the end, it was Vader, the very weapon Palpatine created, who threw him down that shaft himself. Lightning still firing from his fingertips on the way down. The most patient, most manipulative villain in the galaxy was taken out by his own creation.